Brace yourself for sheer epicness, because today I'm going to reveal the top 3 reasons why the Nintendo Switch may be Nintendo's last final console. So, why do I say this? Why do I speculate that the end is nigh for Nintendo in terms of console production? Well, let's delve into the nitty-gritty. Let's dabble into this topic. So, first and foremost, Nintendo cannot compete on par with their competitors. Their 8th generation console is antiquated, is outdated. Its specifications, its features, its hardware, its software are just not on par with the PlayStation 4, nor the Xbox One, nor even an outdated gaming rig. So, it's just quite a shame and quite a pity. Nintendo's asinine decision to produce an inferior console is going to backfire on them, and gamers are going to likely desist. Brace yourself for sheer epicness, because today I'm going to reveal the top 3 reasons why the Nintendo Switch may be Nintendo's last console. First and foremost, Nintendo cannot compete on par. Damn. Brace yourself for sheer epicness, because today I'm going to reveal the top 3 reasons why the Nintendo Switch may be Nintendo's last console. Without further ado, without further procrastination, without further delay, let's delve into the nitty-gritty. First and foremost, Nintendo cannot compete on par with their competitors. Brace yourself for sheer epicness, because today I'm going to reveal the top 3 reasons why the Nintendo Switch may be Nintendo's last console. First and foremost, Nintendo cannot compete on par. Brace yourself for sheer epicness, because today I'm going to reveal the top 3 reasons why the Nintendo Switch may be Nintendo's last console. First and foremost, Nintendo cannot compete on par with their competitors. In other words, their console is just inferior in every facet to the Xbox One and the PlayStation 4. Gamers are less inclined to migrate to the Nintendo Switch, especially considering that they already own the superior consoles. They don't want to waste their time degrading their gaming experience. So, the fact that Nintendo cannot compete on par with Microsoft nor Sony jeopardizes their chances to optimize their success in this 8th generation console war. The second reason is that it may be more lucrative to license out their intellectual properties to either Microsoft or Sony. It may not be profitable to produce a console for their intellectual properties. It may be more viable and more feasible to just license them out and not bear the risk of having to produce consoles to elicit profits from the first-party video games. The second reason is the third and final reason. Brace yourself for sheer epicness, because today I'm going to reveal the top 3 reasons why the Nintendo Switch may be Nintendo's last console. Brace yourself for sheer epicness, because today I'm going to reveal the top 3 reasons why the Nintendo Switch may be Nintendo's last home console. Brace yourself for sheer epicness, because today I'm going to reveal the top 3 reasons why the Nintendo Switch may be Nintendo's last console. Without further ado, without further procrastination, without further delay, let's delve into the nitty-gritty. Let's dabble into this. First and foremost, Nintendo cannot compete on par with their competitors. the Nintendo Switch is unequivocally inferior to Microsoft's Xbox One and is inferior to Sony's PlayStation 4. It's quite a shame and quite a pity because gamers are deterred from buying the Nintendo Switch, especially when they already own the Xbox One and such or the PlayStation 4. So the fact that the console is inferior in terms of its specifications, capabilities, features, and utility renders it less enticing. Nintendo is forging a passive Brace yourself for sheer epicness, because today I'm going to reveal the top 3 reasons why the Nintendo Switch is likely Nintendo's last home console. Brace yourself for sheer epicness, because today I'm going to reveal the top 3 reasons why the Nintendo Switch Brace yourself for sheer epicness, because today I'm going to reveal the top 3 reasons why the Nintendo Switch may be Nintendo's last home console. First and foremost, Nintendo cannot compete on par with their competitors. The Xbox One and the PlayStation 4 trump the Nintendo Switch in every facet. It's quite a shame and quite a pity that gamers are deterred from buying the Nintendo Switch, especially when they already own the Xbox One and PlayStation 4. Nintendo is paving the road to failure in terms of Brace yourself for sheer epicness, because today I'm going to reveal the top 3 reasons why the Nintendo Switch may be Nintendo's last home console. Without further ado, without further delay, without further procrastination, let's delve into the nitty-gritty. Let's dabble into this. First and foremost, Nintendo cannot compete on par with their competitors. The Nintendo Switch is inferior to the Xbox One and PlayStation 4 in every facet. Gamers are deterred from buying the Nintendo Switch, especially when they already own the superior consoles that supersede the Nintendo Switch in terms of capabilities, features, and specifications. The second reason is that it may be more lucrative to license out their intellectual properties rather than produce a console for selling their first-party video games. I can foresee Nintendo licensing out their first-party titles and their intellectual properties in the pending future. Will that come to pass? Most likely. But having to produce a console and hope it sells may not be a viable business plan, in stark contrast to licensing out the intellectual properties and collecting royalties. So, the third and final reason is that peripheral sales are likely not going to be enough in the future to vindicate the production of a 9th generation Nintendo home console. So, I foresee the future being bleak in terms of Nintendo's success in the 8th generation console market. I think that they're going to, damn, I think I made a blunder. Brace yourself for sheer epicness, because today I'm going to reveal the top 3 reasons why the Nintendo Switch may be Nintendo's last home console. First and foremost, Nintendo cannot compete on par with their competitors. The Nintendo Switch is inferior in all facets to the PlayStation 4 and Xbox One. It's quite a shame and quite a pity, especially considering that the Nintendo Switch was released nearly half a decade post the Xbox One and PlayStation 4 being released. So, it should in fact be inferior to the aforementioned consoles, but it's not. Gamers are deterred from buying the Nintendo Switch when they can play video games that they relish on the superior consoles they already own. So Nintendo is paving their way for failure in this 9th generation console market. Moving on, it may be more lucrative to license out their intellectual properties rather than produce another home console. That's the second reason why Nintendo will likely maneuver the way out of the console market in the pending future. It may not be profitable to produce a console to sell their first-party titles on. It may be more lucrative to just have their games released on Microsoft platforms or on Sony platforms or even on the PC. The third and final reason is that peripheral sales are likely not going to be enough to vindicate the production of a 10th generation console. So, I don't see peripheral sales being extremely profitable in the pending future. I see peripherals as more of a gimmick. I see them losing their appeal and losing their luster and losing their charm. So, those are the top 3 reasons why I foresee the Nintendo Switch being Nintendo's last home console. Once again, to give you a synopsis, Nintendo cannot compete on par with their competitors. This will stifle their Nintendo Switch sales. It may be more lucrative to license out their intellectual properties rather than produce a console in the hope of selling the first-party titles on. And peripheral sales are likely not going to be strong enough to vindicate the production of a 10th generation console. So that's everything I want to do. Notify you of. I'm curious, what do you think about this? Do you think Nintendo's future is bleak, or do you think it will be lucrative, prosperous, and auspicious? I hope that you found this video to be enthralling and insightful. Have a wonderful, marvelous day. Goodbye. Let's go once more. Brace yourself for sheer epicness, because today I'm going to reveal the top 3 reasons why the Nintendo Switch may be Nintendo's last home console. First and foremost, Nintendo cannot compete on par with their competitors. The Xbox One and the PlayStation 4 trump the Nintendo Switch in all facets. It's quite a shame and quite a pity, especially considering that these aforementioned consoles were released in 2013, which is nearly half a decade ago. The Nintendo Switch should trump these consoles in all facets, but it's a polar opposite. The Nintendo Switch is on the bottom of the rung, is relegated to the role of an inferior console. So, I see gamers being deterred from buying the Nintendo Switch, especially when they can play their favorite titles via the Xbox One or the PlayStation 4. Moving on, the second reason is that it may be more lucrative for Nintendo to license out their intellectual properties rather than produce a console to sell their first-party titles on. So, I can foresee Nintendo games being on Microsoft platforms, Sony platforms, or even on the PC in the pending years. Will that come to pass? I hope it does, but it may not. It just may not be profitable to produce a console just for selling the first-party titles on. They may be better off licensing out their intellectual properties and subsequently collecting royalty payments. So, the third and final reason is that peripheral sales are likely not going to be high enough to vindicate the production of a 10th generation console. So I see peripherals as more of a gimmick. I see them losing their luster, I see them losing their novelty, I see them losing their appeal in the coming years. People are fed up with peripherals. People view them as unnecessary, clunky, exorbitantly priced items that are not really needed to augment the gaming experience. So those are the top three reasons why those are the top three reasons why the Nintendo Switch is likely going to be Nintendo's final home console. Nintendo may maneuver their way out of the console gaming market. They may digitally release content, or their games may be ported to other platforms. Who knows what will transpire? The future is an enigma. I'm curious what you think about all this. Do you think that Nintendo will maintain a foothold in the console market, even if they barely have any market share in the coming years? Or do you think that they'll license out their intellectual properties to other companies? Please let me know via the comment section. I hope that you found this video to be intriguing and insightful. Have a wonderful, marvelous day. Goodbye.